VP4TV.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
Right then, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to VP4TV. We have matches going on in the 2026 Virtual 9-Ball World Championship. We have a match upcoming in about, 40 minutes time. And if I can find where it is, there it is. It's a match between Cobra, well, I was going to say new cribbage world champion, but he's actually just defended his title there against Acero. So Cobra representing the UK, SBD representing Japan. We'll say no more about that. And that goes off at, well, actually 18:29 it goes off at, but we'll round it down to 1/2 the hour. But right now we have a first round match going on between Power Slam and Bankster. We're going to get in because it's running quite close. And at the moment, Bankster has a slender 1 rack lead against Power Slam. Now, Bankster, if I remember, represents Kuwait, I believe, and Power Slam, the UK. Now, what I would add is Power Slam, I think, prefers snooker to 9-ball. That's all I'm saying on that one. Got to remember the rules in this tournament. First of all, there's no jump cues. Secondly, we have the break box. So this white square area in the kitchen is where you have to have your cue ball. You're restricted to have it in that area to break. And the golden break rule is on. So if the 9-ball goes down in the break, it stays down and you win the rack. And we also have rack money, which means that where the head of the rack normally is, it goes further up the table because the 9-ball is racked on that spot. So it moves the rack further up the table. I think that's basically all the rules that we need to know. But these two guys could be going all the way. And Power Slam, well, he's given as good as he's getting at the moment. Welcome to Cobra. The word yesterday was that I think Steve was intending to, well, that's a poor one. You know, that's just a bit careless. He might have got away with this, though. I don't know that banks. It looks far too tight. He's trying to cut it in. Well, he has cut it in. That was well done. I didn't think he'd get enough of that to actually cut it, but there you go. So there's a mistake from Power Slam. It's cost him the rack. And I would have always put Bankster as the favourite in this match. He plays enough Friday night 9-ball. And we've seen how well he does with a handicap in that. But of course, in this tournament, there is no handicaps. We've had a couple of results. And one thing about the results is they were both blitzed results, which is a bit embarrassing. If we look at the top of the bracket here, we've got Albinario, who was up against Liquid, Vertical Liquid as he was yesterday, and Albinario ran out that match 19 racks to 1. And I think One Pocket Slim had the same result against German Pot Machine. Now, the one thing I would say about those two matches, there is no way that German Potting Machine or Liquid should have come out of those matches with just one rack. And the prime thing about it is what I keep going on about. These guys are not thinking enough about what they're doing. The fact that there's no jump cues, they're trying to actually play opponents and actually beat them at pot and balls, and that's never going to happen. So you have to have another strategy to your game. And I don't think I never really saw any of these matches, so I can't say, but I'm pretty certain and guessing that these guys tried to outshoot One Pocket Slim and tried to outshoot Albinario, and it ain't happening. So what you have to do is use a bit of common sense. And I reckon that if either of the two of them did, they probably have got more than one rack. I think the obvious problem as well is that in a game of 9-ball, you have got so much leeway with the cue ball. You don't have to be as accurate with the cue ball. You can get away with an awful lot in VP4. So that tells you how poorly Liquid and German Potting Machine were. I don't care how good One Pocket Slim or Albinario was, but to see those guys getting humped 19 racks to 1 each, well, I reckon the two of them need to ask themselves a few questions for coming up with a result like that. There is no way, no matter how little you play 9-ball or how badly you play 9-ball, you've got to be getting more than one rack off of those guys. And so they need to actually think about a few things and actually probably learn a bit more with the cue ball. It's a reason for learning. I mean, no harm in the fact that they've entered the tournament. But if you're going to enter the tournament and you're going to play guys like Albinario and Slim, you've got to concede the fact that they're the better all-round player than you are. So what you have to do is try and use a bit of tactics to break up their game. And I think they're just trying to pot far too many balls that they shouldn't have been, and trying to keep things a wee bit more tight. Yes, 9-ball is an attacking game, but there is room for manoeuvre in 9-ball, especially without the jump cue. You can use that to your advantage. I just don't think either of them did. But anyway, we'll worry about that at a later date. Bankster now has found himself in a 3-rack lead here. And he may well be heading towards the finish line. So you see what's happened there. Bankster's got Power Slam in knots there. So he's now got ball in hand. Of course, he's going to be hard pushed to get out from here. But again, this setup here makes it so easy to play a decent safety and tie his opponent up again. He can try and get a breakout on those 3 balls. I don't know that now would be the time to do it. I mean, he could pot the 2, draw back for the 3, have a little angle, and maybe either go 1 or 2 rails into the back of that 5, or go straight into them, depending on the angle he gets in the 3. Well, that won't do it because he hasn't got into it enough, and that's even poorer. Bankster's lost the plot. That's a terrible shot. But here's an example where Power Slam, I think being more a snooker player, he's going to see the safety options in this game, and he's played a decent enough one there. So Bankster gets the hit. Power Slam has a fairly straight in 3-ball, so there's not an awful lot he can do with this other than pot it and get the cue ball up the table. Now, he can go forward. It's a big target, these 3 balls. He can go forward. Well, he hasn't gone forward with any pace. See, look at the angle he had there. The line was perfect. You've got to get some power into that. He would have broke them open. You never know. He might have got lucky. But now he's going to try and feather the 5 and use the 8 and 9. The only problem is doing that.
Where's the cue ball going?
So that's pretty much a sellout. The bankster's got to think about potting this 5 and getting a little nudge just to split this 8 and 9 up. And he's failed to do so. I mean, with ball in hand again, that's another really poor effort there by Bankster. He only needed a little nudge and kept the cue ball there or thereabouts, and he would have been on the 6, no problem. So now his problem is he's got to try and break these out, and he's going to be hard pushed to do that. He's trying to go for the cut. Well, he's doing everything the hard way. Fair play to him. He's got the hit. And another dodgy cut. And this cue ball might skim off the 9 and scratch. And it hasn't. And somehow he's actually found a way out. But back to that shot by Power Slam. That was a poor effort by Power Slam. He had a perfect angle running around those 2 rails to run into the cluster of 3, and he never hit it. So anyway, it looks as if Bankster is heading to the finish line here. Power Slam's got what to do. It is winner breaks though, so if you get on a roll, anything can happen. Now, I wonder if he can... Look, the 5's going far too close to the rail too soon to try and manipulate that for a combo. Well, again, Power Slam's not got the cover. So we're watching this match until our main event of the evening is going to start, which is in about 25 minutes' time. Now, this match may or may not be over by then. It all depends on Power Slam, really. So, again, this only needs dinked in, this 4 ball. Now, any half-decent player should be getting out on this table. Now, I think he's got to get back across this table far enough. And that looks reasonably good to me. The angle is good enough, but he's got to watch he doesn't let the cue ball run out too far. He might scratch. Now you've got a choice. Do you run through behind the 9 ball, or do you come back for the 9 ball? You see, again, he's underhit that. And he could have let that come right through. But he still managed to rescue the rack. So, in case anybody hasn't noticed, the top of the on-screen HUD on my live stream tells you that Albinario is the current champion. He won this tournament last year. Albinario representing Sweden. Well, the 8 ball hanging over the pocket. No luck with the 2 ball, though. And once again, on tables like this, you know, where there's so much more room, we've been so used to looking at the cribbage table with 15 balls in the table plus the cue ball. Now here's another perfect example where a player like Power Slam should be taking that advantage. Well, he's actually missed the cut. He's cut that 2 ball into the 5, and he's come up smelling the roses here. I don't know that Bankster can get to this. I think if you jack up Massey it, it's either going to work or it's going to be a complete failure. There's no in between. But he's never going to get it that way, I don't think. Well, that might have been the best thing to do. Can he get the cue ball into that spot there to pot this too? Are they going to try and... I think he's got to pot this too and try and get out of there. Because he's going to have to rely on a 4-9 combo if he gets that far. Well, if he's going to let this cue ball run, he's either going to try and run and break this out, which he really shouldn't be doing. And again, he had to get a better line to play this combo. And of course, if he doesn't hit this hard enough and the 9 ball doesn't get there, he's just going to leave it on. Well, that's well done. Cue ball stays alive. And it's another rack for Power Slam. Ball has gone in. I think it's I thought it was a 7 that went. What one? The 3 ball's gone. And no shot in the 1, I don't think. Well, the push out has been played. Now, a thin cut on that 1 ball, you might leave it over the pocket, but you can try and use the 5 and the 6 for cover, whereas Bankster decided he's going all out for the bank. And again, he's gifted an opportunity here for Power Slam. I mean, I keep repeating myself that you've got to think about what you're doing, especially if 9 ball's not your most popular game that you play. When you look at this table, if you're a half-decent player, you've got to be finding your way out. And I think Bankster better realise that, because this is going to be the 3rd rack in a row possibly here for Power Slam to get right back on target here. Welcome to Spud Boy. We might see the end of this match. I don't know. Oh dear. Well, that used all of the pocket. Now, here's where Power Slam could make the mistake and not hitting this hard enough. And he has hit it hard enough. That's well done. Well, again, that he could have played that 9 ball with a better line there. I thought it was actually going to hang up. Right, ball has gone in. He's got a bank on the 1. And the other thing is, if he does get the bank in the 1, he should be thinking about the cue ball for the cut in the 2. And again, this is the aspects of playing pool or any type of game where you have to be thinking about what you're doing with the cue ball when you're trying to play this bank, or are you going to try and cut it up table? No, you try to cut it in the side. So now this gives Bankster an opportunity with a bit of pressure on it to try and restore a 2-rack lead here, as we are running out of racks. Well, he's bound to be on the 3 ball as long as he gets the cut in the 2. There's no doubt about that. Well, he's going to hang the 2, and this is going to cut off the half ball 8 and be snookered. Yeah, I think so. He can't get a line off the rail there either. Yeah. So, Bankster, very fortunate there. Right, well, the golden rule here is don't scratch in the left-hand side pocket if you're running the 2 rails around behind the 4. And he's well away from that. He's just overcooked it slightly. Now he's got to watch the cue ball here to have a shot in this 5, and he's got to be wary of the 7 ball as well. He's missed the 4. And you see the problem with that angle he had there, he had to make sure that he was coming over and missing this 7 ball, because that could have been a blocker. Now, remember what I spoke about 2 seconds ago about thinking about your cue ball? You know, he's left himself a very dodgy cut in the 5, but he's got there. But hang on a minute.
Where's the cue ball going?
Going to be have enough of this ball to pot it? I'm not convinced, but the bank will work. That's perfect. And he's going to have to do another one. Again, this is a dead bank, this 8 ball, if he plays it right. I mean, did you want to cut it? He could cut it. The cue ball's running loose big time, though. Well, this is a big shot. Oh, he's nailed it.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh, disaster. There you go. That's the difference between winning and losing. I mean, that could have been 14 apiece, and big swing there. Well, that might be, it could possibly be Power Slam's best chance of maybe taking this all the way had he won that. And Bankster's suddenly get balls running in here. 3 have gone in, the 2, the 3, and the 7 have gone. And it looks pretty much over this rack. Oh, wait a minute. Is it running, this cue ball? Oh, it just got there. I think he might have panicked there for a second. So just a little soft roll through. And we are 15 minutes away. Well, actually 14 minutes away from the start of that next first round match. And Bankster makes it 2 in a row now. Is Power Slam done in this match? Well, it looks as if he's coming to the table. I don't know that he's going to have a shot, though. But I think Bankster was dry. As you can see, no shot, but little tuck behind the 8 ball. And Bankster's going to go short rail up and down. So now ball in hand for Power Slam. So again, when you've got ball in hand, the first thing is the angle that you have in your 1 ball to get to the 2. You've got to then have the angle to get out for the 3. And he's got the angle, although I don't know that he fully intended to run into the 2 ball, but he has the angle. Now you see there, I don't know that, again, execution of the stroke. Well, he's actually edged that 3 ball. I thought he was just playing a deliberate foul there for a second. He's actually brushed the 3 ball. But it was a poor shot there by Power Slam. And would you know, Bankster slams at the 3 and flukes the 6. And he's got a cut in the 3 and the angle to come out for the 4. Them's the breaks, I'm afraid. Well, I don't know what Bankster's trying. Or is that a replay? Is that somebody hit the replay there? I was busy looking at the chat there for a second. He's overcut that, I think. And again, well, I don't know that he can get the right kick on this because the 8 ball's in the way. Not the 8 ball, the 4 ball. And knowing Bankster, he might have a go at this, trying to make it up the rail. Yeah, and this is going to go in, this 7 ball. And he's got a shot in the 3. Wouldn't you know it? Well, you're always going to get away with slop in 9 ball. That's part and parcel of the game. But, you know, if you get lucky and you get a fluke, it's what you make of it that matters. Welcome to Hazard. Well, this still needs to be careful with the cue ball here. And he's got to get the cue ball below this 8 ball one way or another, unless he fancies playing an 8-9 combo, but he has to get this cue ball running in the right direction. And the angle he's got in the 5 isn't great for that, because the cue ball wants to run into the bottom left-hand corner pocket here. And he's checked it up, and that's a very well played shot. That's perfect. He could not have played that any better. Well, see, there's an example of a player thinking about what he's doing. And this is what I'm talking about at the very early part of this stream. I'm talking about how those 2 guys in the other first round matches both lost by 19 racks to 1. And I still say there's no way they should have lost 19 racks to 1. Not if they actually used a bit of common sense, and I don't think either of them did. And that's where I get critical with these players, where they can do better, they can get more racks on the board if they actually used their head, and I'm pretty certain neither of them did. Trying to outshoot players that are far more experienced and get better control than what they have is not the way to go about it. You're only going to fall flat in your face. You've just got to have a wee bit of common sense. And that's part and parcel of just making you a slightly better player. You know, your control might not be as good as you would want it to be, but that can be improved. But it won't be improved if you don't think about what you're actually up to. Well, Bankster is edging ever closer here, and this match may well finish just a nice time. I think he's gone a bit straight in the 6, but again, it's all about cue ball here, because this 7 ball's tight in the pocket. Now, if he just nudges this and checks it a bit, he can just stay in the left-hand side and play that 8 ball into the top right-hand corner. He doesn't need to do a lot with the cue ball. And he's digging down here. But he's got the right idea. I mean, just hold the cue ball, leave yourself the longer shot, rather than trying to do acrobatics with the cue ball. Needs to come out a wee bit for a bit more comfort. But he'll be on the hill, breaking for the match. So in the end, Bankster has eventually pulled away. Cue ball's gone. And a slight problem where the 2 and 3 are sitting. So again, I mean, there's not a problem with the fact that they both go. The problem is how you play this one ball. So you just got to roll out far enough. I'd be actually playing it a wee bit squarer that way. You see, again, that's poor. He's actually got lucky that that's split like that. He could have made that a lot simpler. But you see, this is where players make the wrong choice of shot. You know, that was never the way to play that. This is going to be in the middle of no man's land, though, for Bankster. Well, this is going to complete the formalities in this match. Again, checking that up big time to come back down the right side. Perfect pace on the 7. Well, this match started at 5 p.m. my time, so it's an hour and 25 minutes that it's taken, and we haven't played all the racks, of course. Well, he's dicing with death there, running over that far, but he's got away with it. So Bankster goes through by 19 racks to 13 against Power Slam. And we'll have a quick look at the bracket and see where that puts him. Where does it put him? Look at all those matches that are all lined up. Well, there we go. Bankster into round 2. And he's going to play the winner of Mooncake and Chiku. And again, Chiku's not a 9-baller. I've seen him play 9-ball. He tends to bang a bit. He's not that controlled. He's a 3-cushion player, Chiku. But Mooncake should be too strong for him. So that will be certainly a tougher opponent for Bankster, should the result ensue that I've spoken about there between those two. Let's have a quick look at the schedule, because we have another match tomorrow night, the one that I'm going to cover, and that's Romario representing the UK, and Larry, of course, representing the USA. And that kicks off at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. And then we've got all these other matches as well. Spud Boy lined up with a Sarah. Now, I've got it to Spud Boy. Are you there? I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to say it in front of these people. If you come out of that match against Acero, provided it goes ahead, and you only win 1 rack, there's going to be some serious questions asked. Now, you listen to what I'm saying. There is no way that you should be coming out of that match against Acero with only 1 rack to your name. There's no jump cues. All it takes is a bit of thought, and you could get a good few racks off him. He's going to be favourite. There's no doubt about that. But if you cut out the numptiness and play with a bit more thought than those other 2 guys did, you'll come out with a lot more racks than 1. That's one thing I'm expecting of you, because you're a far better player. Right, anyway. All that remains now is to see whether these 2 guys have showed up. Well, Cobra, of course, he was in the stream. I don't know whether he's still there, but he's probably out ready, getting a bit of a warm-up here. And Silent but Deadly is as well. So the 2 of them are there. And I'm going to check Discord.
Welcome to VP4TV. You're watching a Tactical Genius production. Please welcome your commentary team for this match, 9ball.com and Super Admin aka Steve Chaplin, CEO and President of Celeris, Inc. Good luck to both players and have a good one.
Well, there's no surprise there that you lost 9-0 Romario. Anything can happen when Romario's involved. Right, good afternoon, good evening to Steve. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. We are good to go. We've got 2 players in practicing. We've just saw the end of that match with, I've forgotten who's playing, and I've just watched it.
Power Slam
Bankster and Power Slam.
Yeah, I was watching it. It was like 13-13, and I went to get coffee. I came back, and Bankster just blew him away.
Yeah. Now, I posed a question there when I started this stream, Steve. You look at those 2 results. I find them a bit annoying, looking at those 2 results. You've got Albinario beating Liquid 19 racks to 1. And you've got One Pocket Slim beating, who did he play? I've forgotten already.
German potting machine.
Yeah. He beat him 19 racks to 1. Now, I asked the question. If you go into matches like that and you know how good Albinario is, and you're the player and you know how good that One Pocket Slim is, the first thing you don't do is try and outpot them, because you ain't going to do that. There's, in 9-ball, you don't have an awful lot of, time to play with because there's so few balls on the table. The fact that there's no jump cues, you can use a bit of common sense and do a bit of jiggery pokey with a cue ball if you can, and try and make things a bit awkward in certain situations. But what I'm really saying is there any excuse for those 2 guys to come out of those matches only winning 1 rack, which was probably a gift, a mistake by one of the guys? And
I don't know. I mean, the thing is when you have that big a skill level difference, you're going to lose no matter what. So,
yeah.
I guess it just kind of depends on how you want to do it. It's the same in real life, especially in a game like 9-ball. If it's a long race, So, I played a lot of tournaments that were races to 7, races to 9, and I played good enough that I could beat pros. If I played well, I'd have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like a top level amateur. For most amateurs, even people that are pretty good players, they got absolutely no chance of beating that pro.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys that you're talking about, they would be at best, compared to real life, mid-level amateurs. They got absolutely no chance. And when you got one of these guys that can really play and they get comfortable, they know they can't lose, and they're just freewheeling, they're going to play, unbelievable. And that's, if you don't run out all the time, even if if you run out half the time, you're going to lose to those guys. So, I don't know.
My point is that I don't think, I never saw any of the matches, right? But I'm pretty certain that neither of the 2 of them were really thinking a great deal about what they were doing or what a situation was, and they're trying to outshoot their opponent. Where I'm suggesting that if you used a wee bit more common sense and thought, they would have got more racks on the board one way or another. And it's true. I mean, Romario's saying Liquid had a few chances to win racks, but he just couldn't get the deal done. Now, that's probably for both of those guys down to the cue ball. They don't have great control of the cue ball, so therefore the idea of potting 3 and 4 balls in a row is a challenge for them. I accept that. Well, what I don't accept is that the 2 of them lose 19 racks to 1. I just think that if they actually applied themselves a bit better, rather than getting in thinking, well, I ain't going to win this, are they actually trying 100%? Are they giving their best? I don't know. But I just think they should ask themselves a few questions for their one-loss side match. That's all I would say.
I mean, it's difficult because players at that level typically aren't going to play safe a lot. Learning safety play is not something people usually learn early on. When people learn safety play is when they start playing better players, and the better players play safe, and they got no chance because they're not playing safe. And you know, it's one of those things that is a learned behavior, and it takes a lot of time. I mean, pool's difficult. I mean, I know that German Potty Machine is playing a lot. He's in here a lot. I'm sure he's getting better. And you know, when you lose like that, it makes you realize, boy, I got a lot of things I need to work on.
Well, that's exactly what I'm hoping, you know, as well, that they would actually say, well, you know, why, you know, you've got to then ask yourself the question, why am I losing 19 racks to 1?
Yeah.
You know, see where your frailties are. Now, the frailties for me, as far as I can see, I'm making a pretty shrewd guess that it's definitely cue ball, and that's a big part of any game is the cue ball. So
Well,
that's the one thing they need to work on.
They're going to be worse at every single aspect of the game than a guy at the top level. So we got Cobra. Cobra won the break. Cobra's up a game.
I'll make a guess on this one, Steve. I'll tell you one thing that I'm pretty certain in is that Cobra's thrown out the soft break technique for this tournament.
Yeah, that's a pretty good bet. Oh, this is an interesting shot here.
Gone. Oh dear,
that was a tricky shot.
Yeah, trying to get the cue ball around and up for the He got onto the 3-1 way or another, but at the sacrifice of potting the 2.
You know, missed the ball, and you know, it's
You see, there's a fine example of where that was an opportunity there for SBD. The opportunity's gone, and now you get a player like Cobra coming to the table where his cue ball is usually pretty much on the money, and he's going to get out.
You just lost at least one game. You know, could be 3 or 4 games. And that's why it's hard to play this game pool at a hard level, because mistakes are very costly. Your opponent's going to punish you. This looks like trouble, though.
Needs to bounce. Now, this is a bit fiddly. I mean, he's got...
he's okay. No, this is... Well, you got 2 choices.
Does he try and play in between the 6 and 7? Because this angle's not...
No. You're either going to bump the 6 or you're going to try to go 3 rails around behind the 9. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought he was shooting the 5 ball.
Oh, well, he did try and hold it. He did try and hold it in the gap, but I thought he would have actually checked it up and hit that firmer.
Yeah, dummy me. I was looking at the wrong ball.
Well, there you go. Mistakes are made. So there's a chance that SBD didn't think he was going to get. Now he's got to make sure he gets into the gap.
I would go 4 rails here. Now he's going to do the simple route, which is probably smarter. Can he get on the ball that way? Oh, he can. That was the right shot. I didn't know that it was that easy to get on it.
He's checking this up big time.
Even if he hits the 7, he's okay.
Will he? I mean, you never know if he hits the wrong side of it. He's checked it well inside. So there's a bonus.
Well, you know, SBD is a very good player. He makes a lot more mistakes than Cobra. But, you know, if Cobra makes a few more mistakes than he normally does, I think he could lose his match.
You don't mess with the 9 ball here. You don't mess with the 9 ball. Don't mess with it. Oh, well... He did mess with it because it was always going to head that direction, but he still got a cut. He's got a wee bit more difficult than he would have wanted.
This ball wants to go towards the 9 ball. And that was a good shot. He played it up short of it.
Judged the pace well.
He'll go forward with this one because this is, you don't have to slam it that way. And it's going to be 1-1, and Cobra's kicking himself for not hitting that 4 ball hard enough.
Just going back to the matches that Slim and Albinario played, I think it was mentioned in the chat, or the question was asked, like, how many racks they ran. Albi ran 4 racks in that match, and Slim ran 5 in his match.
Ran or broken ran?
Broken ran, I think it was, yeah. And then the other stat I think was racks run was, I think Albi just had 2. I might have read it wrong. I think Albi had 2 in a row.
No, I mean break and run. Racks run should be higher than break and run. because racks run is all the racks you ran. Like if the guy broke and didn't make a ball and then you ran out, that counts as a run out.
Breaking runs, I think, was 2 for Albie. I think.
Yeah, and that's actually not very good. So but I'll say this about German potty machine, and who was the other guy? I don't remember who the other guy was. It was Liquid. I'll say this about these guys. Okay, they're getting in and playing, and that's really the most important thing, is that you get in and play and get some experience against these players. And I give them big props for getting. A lot of guys are like, I don't want to play. I'm going to get killed. That's how you get better, is by getting killed.
Well, that's actually why I say, well, okay, you've lost 19 racks to 1, but you've got to ask yourself the question then, where do I go to improve that result next time?
Yeah,
again, I'll give them, fair juice for playing
in
the thing.
That play. I thought he'd go behind that. See, for me, I would have gone behind the 6 and tried to go between the 4 and the rail. And if you end up bumping the 4, you still might have a shot. That was a tough way to go. I mean, he got away with it. He may have to
go 2 rails here and take that 6 into the other corner.
No, he'll go to the same pocket.
You think he's going to? Yes, he's playing it dead weight.
But yeah, I don't like those forcing it kind of shots. I'd rather try to get the precise control shot than force it. But I'll also say this about playing against good players. And I don't know why it is like this, but you will notice so much more about what a player does when you're playing them versus when you're just a spectator. And there's just something about playing them that you tend to notice things. And, once I got to the point that I was pretty good, I really improved mainly just by playing great players.
Well, you would hope that that's what both of those guys did as well when they were watching Albinaro and watching Slim. Good evening to Slim, by the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think...
Well, I'll ask you...
I encourage everybody to get in and play these things. Don't worry about... Look at Spud Boy. There's a guy that worried a lot about, should I get in this and that? And, you and I would all say, get in it. And Spud Boy improved a lot. I mean, his game really jumped. And it's from playing in tournaments like this. I mean, that's what does it.
I've already briefed Spud Boy on his match against Acero. I said, there's no way that you should be going out of that match losing 19 racks to 1. And I'm not expecting that.
Spud Boy plays way too good to lose 19 to 1. I mean, he's certainly isn't the favorite there. He's going to have to play lights out to have a chance. But, when you're that level of player that he's at, that's sort of just entering the realm of possibility of a big upset. And if he plays phenomenal and Acero makes a few more mistakes, I mean, he could win the match. It's not likely, but I think there's a chance. He plays good enough that I think there's a chance. And that's how you get confidence. That's how you notice things. That's how you kind of figure, gee, I did this and I should have done this. And that's how you get better. And Spud Boy is a perfect example of it, because he's one of the guys that's really improved.
Well, SBD going to square this match
Spud
up.
Boy says game comes and goes. Well, that unfortunately is the hardest thing, is getting consistent. And even the best players aren't as consistent as they'd like, but that's really kind of the last frontier. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just play your heart out and see what happens. Uh-oh.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Whoa.
There's the unforced error.
Did he overcut that? Or undercut it?
Oh, I missed it. Too late. The replay didn't catch it.
I think he overcut it.
Well, this bank, the bank's open all day long. Oh, is it going to hold? Yes, it is. Well, there's one that's got away for SBD. You know,
Yeah,
it's
and
so
that's
costly against
a
these
killer.
guys.
Yeah, you just,
You know, it's a big 2-rack swing there. Again, it hurts so deeply when you know that there's a golden opportunity to stay with Cobra, and you go and you give it up. Well, there's a 2-9 combo there, unless you can get the 2 into the side. Well, the 2 goes into the side, no problem.
I think he's playing safe here. He's just going to dink this.
Oh yeah, this is.
And you really want to get the cue ball to run a little behind the 3 so the kick isn't there. He's just going to dink this.
It looks good enough to do that.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know that he's actually. I think he's hit it too hard, has he?
Yeah. Now this is actually a pretty easy safe here. You can't hit it too hard, but you want to park this behind the 3 and 6,
exactly,
just like that.
Yeah.
That's
perfect. Very well done. Yeah.
And that just, SBD has tremendous knowledge, has a really good feel for the game. He's just got to stop making so many unforced errors because he plays good enough.
Well, the good thing about that is,
he didn't even have to think about that. He knew the shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, every pro in the world would have played that same exact shot. And they wouldn't
have to hit enough of that ball just to get it to hold behind that 6 or the 3.
I like going behind the 3 because I think you can go 3 rails. I didn't like that way. I thought he should have kicked behind the 3 and then end rail, long rail into the 1. I thought that was a lot easier way to hit it. I will say this is that the players, I would never shoot this combo. Are you kidding me? That's crazy.
He's looking at that 2-9. I can't understand that he's going to do that. I think he's fooling us doing that.
Never want to do that. You just slide this over, and run out. What's he doing? The 2-ball win.
That is terrible. I mean,
2-ball win in the side pocket. I don't know what the hell he's trying to do. He's trying to make the 9 on that shot. It's like,
that's crazy.
Just run out the table. That's
right. Spud Boy, you watching, see stupid stuff like that. Don't do that.
That's just dumb.
That's just crazy.
I gotta say simple. That. I hate to be that critical, but that was just dumb.
Oh no, I mean, I'm never going to hold back on that. I mean, when you're a player at his level, that is just pure numptiness to do something stupid. And that's what I talk about, people doing stupid stuff. I mean, the 3-ball goes no problem.
A lot worse than that.
Good God.
Now, you want to hit going through the second diamond.
Well, unless he's going to get there.
He's a little long of it, but that's, he just didn't hit it.
Was that Cobra that was at the table? Am I out of sync here? Was that Cobra that did that? Am I seeing things properly here?
I thought it was SBD that did
it. Well, why is SBD back at the table? Or
well, maybe it was Cobra that did it. That's just stupid. Whoever did it, it's dumb. I don't care who did it. It was dumb.
I'm going to leave the room because I'm getting totally confused here. Hang on a minute to come back in. Yeah, it was. It was Cobra that played it.
That's just,
Well, I think he must be on the gin.
He must be. That's just stupid. I mean, the way you make decisions. On every single shot, you say, which play gives me the best chance of winning this rack? That's really the decision maker. And his best chance of winning was just running out, playing the 2 inside and running out.
Pot the 1, go on to the 2, roll the 3 into the corner. I mean, where was the problem?
I don't know. You know what, though, is I will cut these guys a little slack about things like that. And that if you start feeling a little pressure, sometimes you do really dumb things. We all do it. So, it's easy being a commentator because there's no pressure. But I've done some of the dumbest things, that I know better than to do when I'm playing because I was feeling pressure. And maybe that's what happened there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going into the right side.
Well, he's going to have to bank this 4-ball or play a combo. I don't like trying to play the 4-ball combo.
He's
I
got to
don't
play
like
the
the
bank.
combo from where he is, so I think he should play for the bank.
I mean, it's wide open for the bank. He can get the cue ball up into the spot.
Well, it's critical you get this cue ball good. You cannot come up short on this. You can be long on this, but you can't be short on it. Now, he's going to try to do something with a combo or, you know, I didn't like that play.
I don't know that was the wisest move, but he's got a cut.
He did get away with it. I like the for sure play. You know, is it for sure you're going to get on the bank good? Well, pretty much. I mean, you know, it wasn't that difficult as long as you make sure you don't come up short.
Welcome to
Tam. You know, what he did is going to work.
Hey, Tam, they're talking about us getting up to about 30 degrees on Thursday. That's burned to death temperatures for Scotland. We'll all be scarlet at the end of Thursday.
Yeah, we don't have any air conditioning there. No
no such thing as air conditioning in Scotland, Steve.
You could not survive where I am without AC. Let me tell you.
No, I mean the only air conditioning I've got is actually on right now. That's my little fan. I'll leave that on all night so I can try and get a sleep.
So it's going to be 4-2 here. Yeah, we've seen some mistakes so far in this. I think SBD is a lot more likely to make mistakes than Cobra, and that's been his downfall. He needs to play pretty clean from here on out.
Now, daylight between the players.
Obviously, the break is important. You know, these guys are both going to have their break techniques. Well, that worked pretty good, didn't it?
Oh, but look at the cue ball.
Can he shoot this? Oh, he can shoot this, but it's tough.
Well, where's he going to shoot that? He needs to slam this to get it moving.
Yeah, I think he's going to play safe. Now, I would probably try to bank this off the end rail and use the 6.
And
I know that's a touchy shot.
Cover.
The other thing you could do is jack up on it. This is probably better. Jack up on it, and so that you can get a lot of spin and get it behind the 7-9, like that.
Oh, that's going to work.
And that's well done.
Yeah.
So I do think he can kick at this by going between the 7 and the 9. I do think there's a path there.
Does he need to check it up to make a line?
I think he has to check it slightly, yes. Yeah. I think he has to check it slightly. The 2-railer is tough. So I think just go between the 7 and 9 with a little check.
Well, I'm all for your shot, Steve.
He's not going to hit it going this way unless he puts right English on it. He's going to miss it. Oh, he did hit it. Boy, he got deep enough in the corner. I didn't think he could hit it there.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Well, I thought it'd open up more on the second rail, but man, he got that really deep in the corner.
Now you've got to bank this to the rail and get it back out. This one ball. Well, you can't hit this shot.
What you want to do is go behind the 9 here.
Yeah, well, he's banked it like I said. That's perfect. That's a great shot because that's the shot he had to play. He had to get that to the rail and bank it back out.
Now this shot, I would kick off the rail near and try to stick it. I would try to stick it. If you're gonna go this way and go off the other long rail, you've got to try to slide behind the 7 and 6. So you want to hit on the long side of this. You don't want to hit it like that. See, that was a hit and hope.
He might get lucky though. I think he's got lucky. He's got a roll.
Yeah, he got lucky. When you have those situations where you go, well, I can hit a half ball on this side and I can get the hook. I mean, that's what you should be playing. It wasn't like some super delicate thing. I mean, he has any kind of reasonable hit on the outside half of the ball, and he probably gets safe. Slamming it like that's, you know, I mean, sometimes you got to do it, but I didn't think that was a situation.
Well, he's got a UK flag, Tam, and he's only been he's only had an account for X amount of
and I'll tell you what,
months,
that was a hell of a shot. I know he wasn't trying to make it, but he had the safety.
Well, this is just a little dink.
Well, Tam, if you had one of those, you'd be a RTX 5092 because you sure as hell would change your name to it.
If they know about £1,500 those graphic cards.
Yeah.
I had a weird thing. Listen to this, Steve. I had a weird thing that happened on Steam yesterday. Right, I was playing, what was I playing? I booted up the PC, I loaded up Steam, and I started Motortown, which is a great wee game, by the way. It looks horrible graphics, but it's a brilliant little game. But anyway, to cut a long story short, I started the game. It loaded up into my little car, and as soon as I tried to move, the whole PC crashed. It went to
usually a driver.
Black screen of death. Right. Well, here's the best thing. I thought,
then that may not be a driver. You say the PC crashed.
Yeah, the whole PC crashed.
Well, no. Your PC rebooted?
No, it come up saying there's been, when it says there's been a fault, you can now restart the PC.
That's a blue screen, not a
black
screen.
It's a black screen of death now. It's black in my screen. Anyway,
to cut long story short, or your monitor's really that bad?
No, it's black because a black screen of death comes up. Anyway, I'm trying to get to the next point. I restarted everything, booted up Steam again. I thought, right, let's try the same game. I did it, and it did it again. I tried it a third time, but this time with another game, and it did it again. So then I did a full system scan. What is it? DISM, and there's about whatever the three things is I did, and it come up and said there has been some corrupt files, which we've now repaired.
Yeah, and driver files.
And everything was working fine after that. But that's never happened before.
Well, that can happen. If you get a system file that's bad, it can just nuke everything.
And I uninstalled Steam, reinstalled it, did all that. And then, of course, when I did the full system repair thing through Windows, it found corrupted files, fixed them, and now everything's working fine again. Weird. Anyway, back to this match. Cobra's now got a 3-rack lead, even more important. The SBD gets this cue ball far enough up the table.
I like SBD's pace of play. He plays in a nice rhythm.
Well, this is perfect.
And honestly, I don't think that's why he makes mistakes, because he plays in a faster rhythm. I'm not sure why he makes mistakes, to be honest with you, but
see, this is just
I'm not sure why anybody that's good makes mistakes. It's just sort of.
Well, he's got to watch. Now he's trying to stun this, and you see, this is where you're taking a risk stunning him at that distance. These pockets will hold it up if it goes to the knuckle, but he's got it.
Yeah. Well, he needs to get rolling. I think if he can get in rhythm and get rolling, so he's got his little get the butt angle a certain way, and we'll see how well he breaks. I mean, Cobra made 3 balls on it a while ago.
But
he's got
by the way, Tom
doesn't have a shot. So
you do know, Tom, that I've got Windows 11 installed into my non-Windows 11 PC.
The 2-ball does go. It's tight, but it goes, and I think he'll shoot at it.
It goes if you don't pay any attention to the 7-ball. It goes.
He's got about 2/3 of a pocket. The bad news is if he hits the end rail, it ain't going. He gets that tit on the end rail, it's not going in. So if he's going to shoot this, and he's trying to hold it, which makes it a little tougher.
Yeah, it did exactly what you said. He's going to get away with it, though, is he?
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing in that situation is he had safety options. Don't shoot it unless you're sure. I mean, honestly, that shot wasn't even close. It didn't hit just the tit; it hit outside of it. Now, Cobra, he's looking to play safe here on the 7.
That's touched like a sledgehammer. He should be nailed here himself. Has he got the angle to know? I don't think he has he?
Well, again, I would just kind of dink this behind the 7, take the 2-ball down table towards the 4. He may try to put it on the 6.
Behind the 6.
He could try to put it on the 6. I would go 7 because you could use the 4 too, but you can't roll it if you're going to go behind the 7. You kind of got to hit a stun with a little English. You could roll it to put it on the 6, but I think it's a little bit more sensitive. That when you go 2 rails in the corner, it's a big target on the 7. When you're coming straight out for the rail, that's not. Oh well, that's terrible.
He gave up on hasn't he?
What you got to play there is just a cue ball. The 2 ball's going down towards the 4. But you got to play only cue ball on that shot, because that's the important thing. And I don't know what he was trying to do there, but it was
he's asking
very
for trouble
poorly
anyway.
done. Yeah, I mean, that shot's a little touchy, but that was just not even close to the speed he needed.
Now, does this 9 bank, Steve? I'd be slamming this 100 mile an hour with the amp on and trying to bank that 9.
No, it doesn't bank. There's no way that was going in.
You don't think that banks? Well, it wasn't far off it.
No.
Commentator's eye. Maybe going to the jaw.
It was going long all day.
You got to see these things. I thought that 9 ball might have banked. So I still would have slammed it anyway. I definitely would have.
Rail bank this 2 ball and get safe. He's not going to do that. And this is where you should be locked on the 9 ball.
Well, this
he may decide to play it on the 4. Yeah, that's good enough.
Well, not many places you can go with the cue ball here, is there?
He may try to bank this. I don't think he can miss the double kiss, but it might 2-rail bank. If you hit this hard, you might 2 or 3-rail bank this.
Well, it's a big pocket, isn't it?
Yeah, but you bank short and it reverses and comes the other way. It goes in that same pocket, or 2 times. I think you slam this.
No, he's just playing it soft and it's going to the knuckle.
But that's
look at the cue ball.
Playing safe probably. That's why you slam that. You hit that hard and it comes back across and goes in the side pocket by the 8 ball.
Well, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he played that.
Yeah, I don't know if he did or not, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he did. So he's got to decide how he wants to kick at this. I would go 2 rails myself. He's looking at, I don't know what he's looking at. This is tough that way. I would go 2 rails the way he's looking now. Yeah, this way. Oh, now he's turning back.
Well, I think he's going to go round the back of the 3. There's enough room to get that line.
He looks like he's trying to go 1 rail. I go 2.
Yeah,
well, that's halfway in between.
The line looked good enough behind the 3 ball to get to that 2.
That hits way easier 2 rails than 1. And I think, I keep saying 2 rails, 3 rails, and I keep saying easier. And I'm saying that because, you say, well, how could 2 rails be easier than 3? Well, it's how big the ball is going to be as far as the angle you're running at, and also how natural the path is. So when you start playing a lot of good players, you're going to kick a lot, and a lot of times it's going to be 3 or 4 rail kicks, and you just got to get a feel for them. I think a lot of players in VP are kind of afraid of those kicks.
Well, I'll say something there. Cobra didn't need to move that 8 ball. If he had gone on the 7, he could have rolled 8 ball up the rail into the corner pocket. He's bumped 8 into play, and he's now made it a little bit more fiddly with access to the 6 ball. So he's got to play a good shot to get into the gap.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good here. I don't think it's going to be a problem. He can just roll this and get in the gap. Because you can't come up short on the 9. It's impossible.
No, he's got there, but again, he didn't need to move that 8. You just want, why make things more complicated when it was simple enough the way the table was lying?
Yeah, I'm not big on moving balls you don't need to move.
Well, the gap's going to go to 3 now. And again, is there less likelihood of a 9 ball in the break with rack money on? We've not had a sniff of one so far.
Well, definitely. I mean, if you want to make the 9 ball in the break, you have to do what they do in real life, is a cut break and take the cue ball back and forth. Because the 9 ball is going to tend to sit in the middle, so if the cue ball goes back and forth. Now, we aren't using a template rack. In other words, it's not a perfect rack. So that means that the 9 ball won't always sit still, but it's going to tend not to move. So you got to get the cue ball going sideways if you want to make it. See, that time the 9 ball actually was headed towards the pocket, and that's because the rack's not perfect. if the rack is perfect, the 9-ball will just sit.
Well, what do you do here? Where do you push to? Do you just push to an edge?
He's looking at trying to play safe, but this is a little tricky.
Well, a little touchy soft, a little soft draw.
The only problem with that is he's left a pretty easy kick. I mean, this is the kind you're looking to kick in.
Well, why is he not going to? Why is he not going to the long rail right next to him then?
I don't know.
He's trying to
But
jump
that's the kind of shot, you know, you kick in.
Well, that's giving up the rack.
I'd say if you're good at kicking, that's at least a 50-50 on the kick.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't have a slam at the kick into the off the long rail next to the cue ball. I don't know why he didn't do that.
I don't know. You know, I mean, again,
he fancied his chances jumping.
If you're not very comfortable with the shot, and I think, you know, guys are making decisions a lot of times based on what their ability is, and if you're not good at kicking, then that's probably not a great play for you.
This is touchy. Now, is he going to try and just stun onto the short side of this 3? Looks like it. And is he worried about the 9-ball? I don't think he's anywhere near the 9-ball. He just has to get the little stun working and get it rolling through far enough. Oh no, he's trying to go through the gap and check it up. That's always a danger. That's always a danger. I don't know why he didn't just play it in the short side.
Well, you know, that stun shot's a little tricky to control. So, you know, he felt like he could roll it, and he didn't get there. The problem with outside was the 5-ball. I mean, you had a very limited space to park it. I think given the situation there with where the 5 was.
Hang on a minute. Look at this.
I would have stunned that thing over because you couldn't hook yourself.
Well, this is going to frustrate SBD.
That was a good shot. He got a little fortunate there, but I'm sure he was playing that.
He's going too tight. His angle was too tight there. He needed to open it up.
Actually, that's a really good way to play it.
But he's got that.
Let me tell you, that's like a real common shot in a lot of games. You know, coming off the rail first, and that's a great way to play safeties. If you've got a ball on the rail, let's say you can see the ball, but you can't shoot it because there's other balls blocking the pocket or something.
Well, this is a very, 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 very touchy thin edge.
Allows you to make angle and swing the cue ball around the table. You know, that rail first shots, guys don't think about that, but that's a very powerful shot. Look at this shot.
Wow. Oh, that's a terrible shot. Look at where he's finishing the 5.
No, it's fine. You just play safe here. You just send the 5 and take the cue ball up to the end of the rail and use the 6-9. I'm sure that's what he's going to do.
That's a given. I mean, you'll see that shot every day of the week. Just push it along.
He hasn't
got enough running in the cue ball though.
Unfortunately, he did not.
He's going to get the same thing in return here in a second or two.
Well, if this is me, I'm banking this in the right-hand side pocket with check right on it. He's going to play safe, which is probably smarter than my shot, but
it needs to keep going.
Yeah, I don't think he got there, but the 5 doesn't go.
Well, but this is still touchy, this.
Well, but this is where you don't try to get behind the 9-6. You just thin it into the 7 and take the cue ball up table. Because it's going to sit, you know. You don't want to do too much here. You just thin it just like that.
No.
Because
he's left the bank.
I mean, no, but that's a tough bank with the cue ball or the 5 on the rail. I think he'll play safe here. He's going to go off the right side of it. Now, this is a pretty good opportunity to get him on the 9-6.
Behind the 6-9. He hasn't hit it hard enough, has he? Has it got the legs? Has it got the legs? He's got the legs. Perfect.
Yeah, and this is going to be a tough shot. Hit. This is going to be a very tough hit where this is sitting. So...
Well, what do you do here, Steve? You go off the left long rail, try and bump the 5 and hold it with a nice pace behind the 7 if you get lucky.
I would go the short rail near him and go 3 rails. Short rail, long rail. He's just going to go straight long rail. He had that, so that was better than what I was saying because he had it directly.
I think the shot he played was right enough. I just don't think if he'd played it softer, he might have got lucky there behind the 7. You never know.
Yeah, that's hard to
It's
say.
probably, well,
That was a tough situation where he was sitting.
he's tough enough to get good in the 6. He's played it perfect.
Hit it very well there.
And of course, needless to say, this is a must-win rack.
What SBD is really good at is playing off a stun. See, that was a stun shot with a little bit of English, mostly induced from the angle on the shot. He's really good at that. That's his game, is hitting those kind of shots.
He's got to get out far enough, though. Can't leave this short. Perfect angle to get out far enough. Well, there we go. What did I say? What did I say there, Steve?
No, but that's not what you do. You drop back and shoot in the side. I don't understand why anybody would play position for the corner there. You just draw that back and shoot in the side pocket.
If he runs another foot, he's fine in the 9. Now he's left it short. Now he's playing a blind pocket cut.
That's the wrong way to play it, Hugh. I'm telling you.
But you're talking about getting up above it to get it in the side. Because it was above the side pocket, remember?
I'm talking about just draw it back and shoot it in the side. Bottom right, draw it back and shoot it in the side
either way,
pocket.
whatever way he done it was the wrong way because he ended up giving up the rack. So there's another one going south.
He could have done it and got straight in the corner pocket. I still would have said it was wrong. I mean, that's the wrong shot to play because the other shot is guaranteed. That shot where you're coming across the line is very speed dependent. You get the speed wrong and you end up like he was. You got.
I don't know.
The hardest thing in pool, as far as a cue ball goes, is the speed. The line is not the hardest thing; it's the speed. So you want to play shots where you have more run out and still be okay. On that shot, he's coming across the line. If he's short, it gets tough, and if he's long, it gets tough.
I think he was maybe put off your idea by the fact that ball was above the side pocket. It wasn't. If it was below the side pocket, he probably would have played your shot. I think he was trying to leave it low.
All he had to do was draw it back with bottom right. I mean, it's the simplest shot in the world.
Well, he didn't obviously trust his draw control either then. One of the two.
He had a huge area he could have put it in and been fine. I mean, that's, you know, if you watch pros in real life, you'll see them go like 2 rail shots to come out and shoot a ball in the side pocket because they got all the room in the world to do that. Whereas you wouldn't see him play a shot like that.
Yeah, but I mean, but then again, you ask yourself the question: why did SBD play that shot and not see the draw shot? And
I don't know. I think he should be a good enough player to see that, but I don't know.
But these are costly choices and costly mistakes.
This is 3 rails. Shoot the 6 in the side. You've got to make sure you get past the side pocket. Now he's going to go behind it. See, I don't like this shot. I would go 3 rails and come down below the 8 ball.
He's bumped to 6 and he's going to get a lucky roll.
See, he's got to get lucky playing it that way. He plays it the other way. He's got a completely clear path. Yes, he could run in the 9 ball if he hit it wrong. And yes, he could go in the side pocket if he hit it wrong. It's not like it was just a complete gimme, but it's pretty standard. Just get it down past the 8 ball. And you have it in the side, and if you overroll it, you got it in the corner. Yeah, I don't like having to get lucky playing position in a way where you got to get a bump like that.
Well, I think the other way to look at it from Cobra's point of view is, yes, he could have played that better, but looking at the way SBD's going, he's making enough errors on racks that really should be his. I mean, at least 2, if not 3 so far, that he's given away to Cobra.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so Cobra just has to be patient enough. He's going to get more opportunities from his opponent.
It was a 2-game swing just missing that 9 ball.
Yeah.
And he's missed an 8 ball. So between missed 8 ball and missed 9 ball, that's 4-game swing. And if he hadn't have done that, it would be 6-5 instead of 8-3.
Now, did I hear anything go there? I don't think I did. No.
But
so
now what are you going to push to? And this is a little tricky. I think you got to push to some kind of thin edge.
You just push up to the 5 in the short rail here and leave the edge of the 1 from the left-hand side of the 8
or you
ball.
can push to a kick. If you're going to push to a kick, you got to decide what kick it is. But if you're going to leave an edge, I think what you're talking about is a good edge. Is put it out there where you can see the the left edge of it, and like that. That's a pretty good push. Because there's a good chance he's getting this back, which is fine.
Now, if you play this right enough and get this thin enough, you can tuck it along the rail on behind the 2 and 6.
I'll be surprised if Cobra shoots this. I'll be very surprised if Cobra
He's given it serious thought, but he's giving it back.
No, I mean, that just, but this is what you want. This is the kind of push you want. Okay, yeah. Is it a tough situation? Yeah, but you don't want to give the guy something that's easy. He had to think about it. You got it back. That's, that's a sign of a good push.
That's perfect. It needs to miss the 3, and it needs to run. It needs to run. That is pretty good. He's left a tiny edge. Oh, wait a minute here. What's happened here? What the hell's happened there? Am I out of sync? Because that cue ball moved there. That cue ball moved.
I didn't see the cue ball move.
Yeah, I saw the cue ball move there. He's cut the 1 in.
Is he going to come out?
Or am I imagining things?
Wow. Well, that was fortunate. Well, things are going Cobra's way, too.
Yeah, this match is rapidly running away from SBD this early on.
I'll say this about cue ball movement is that in a game like 9-ball, like in straight pool, you tend to not swing the ball around the table a lot. In 9-ball, you do. There's less balls on the table. There's only 1 you can shoot. There's a lot of times where you're going to swing the ball 3-4 rails because you've got it on a line that's going to be good.
Yeah, you saw it, didn't you? Larry saw it as well. All right, I'm going to leave the room. Hang on. I might be slightly out of sync here. I saw that jump there. Yeah. I'm beginning to think I'm imagining things. It definitely did jump there. So there is a bit of synchronization problem. But there's definitely nothing wrong with the score if you're Cobra. He's got an 8-3 lead now. This is a little bit...
this is fine.
I was just checking to see how tight it was to the rail, but he's okay.
Now, see that shot there? That's a good shot to practice where you've got to hit it with a little speed and you want it to go straight up the table. Because that's a little touchy as far as vertical tip position. That's a good shot to practice because that comes up a lot, and he hit it perfect.
Now, 2 rails into the gap. Don't mess with the 8. Now, what do you do here, Steve? Are you trying to come down below the 8 to play the 8 in the side, or are you going to play the 8 long?
See, he doesn't have a good angle. If he was straight in, I'd pull it back and shoot it in the side. He's got to shoot it up in the caddy corner. He's just got to come off the long rail and try to shoot it up table in the other opposite corner, just like that.
Well, the only way SBD's going to get... Well, there's 2 ways SBD's getting into this. The first one isn't very good odds. The first one is that Cobra starts to fall apart. The other opportunity he'll have is if he gets a rack and wins it and then gets his break working. That's the only way he's going to get back into this because he can't rely on Cobra doing him any favours.
Well, he's doing exactly what we talked about, making too many mistakes.
And of course, he then has to start playing pretty red hot.
And then on top of it, Cobra's gotten the rolls. I mean, it's definitely gone Cobra's way as far as the rolls go.
Good evening to Jose. Are you using Google Chrome Translate, Jose? He'll be reading it in Spanish right now.
Hola.
Vamos, muchachos. I only ever learnt that from Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
You can't
he is using it.
You can't even speak English.
I tell you, I'm glad I discovered that because I never knew Google Chrome did that. I wish you'd told me that, Steve.
I was you had me kind of fooled that you really could speak English until you said coup. So when you said that, I knew you couldn't.
10 coups in the field. What,
Yeah, exactly.
what one's nearest Saudi Arabia? Aye, Tam, 10 coups in the field. What one's nearest Saudi Arabia? Are you still there, Tam? Tam will know that joke.
Well, let's see what he decides to do here. That's an excellent shot. Very good speed.
Well, is this going to end up a blitz here?
You know, Cobra, he's moving the cue ball with confidence. You know, he's getting these shots that are low speed sensitive, and you know, he's failed on a couple of them, but for the most part, you know, he's been very under control. He doesn't look like there's any panic going on.
No,
of course, why would you panic when you're up 9-3 and it's about to be 10-3?
Look at this Spaniard having a dig here, Steve. It translates to Steve better.
What? He's just telling the truth.
I mean, yeah, that's right. Okay. I wish I hadn't told him about Google Chrome. Where's the cue ball going here?
Where's the cue ball going?
This shot? That was the right shot.
Oh.
He almost crashed, but that was the right shot. Do you see how he pulled that all the way down to get to the same? Because if he shot the shot that we were talking about earlier and tried to come straight out, he'd get funny on the 6 or hook himself on the 9. Instead, he brought it all the way down to shoot it in the side. That was the right shot.
See that joke, Tam? That Andy Cameron told that joke years and years ago on TV. That is an old one, but Andy Cameron, that's where I heard that. Andy Cameron. I don't know what program he was on at the time, but that's who told that. Guy walking by a baker's shop and he sticks his head in the door and talks to the baker. He says, "Is that a donut or a meringue?" And the baker says, "No, you're right enough, it's a donut." See, an American doesn't get that joke, Tam. That just goes straight over the head because they don't understand the Scottish dialect. You know, is that a donut or a meringue? Now, when you say a meringue, in that sense of the word, we're asking a question, am I incorrect? Is that a donut or am I incorrect? That's what he's actually saying. But when you say, is that a donut or a meringue, you think a meringue, which you know what a meringue is. Everybody knows what a meringue is. Anyway, that's enough explaining that joke. Jose will never work that out in his Google Translate.
Yeah. He's probably getting ready to quit the stream after that. Well, let's see what he does here. He should just be able to stun this over. Yep.
Quick reminder while I've got everybody's attention. We're going to have fun and games tomorrow night because we've got Romario up against Larry, and anything can happen in that. Trackball, mouse disasters, Romario losing the plot. I mean, it should be good for a laugh. That's all I'm saying. There should be some entertainment in it.
Yeah, I think he's going to go forward between the 6 and the rail here, which is the right shot. And he hit it
got the legs. That's
well
perfect.
there.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So I think he'll go forward with right English. That's the simple way to play this. You see, I say this, he does it because Cobra understands how to move the cue ball. See, that moves it on a line where you can't get bad on the 6. And it gives you 4 feet of run out room, so you can't mess the speed up.
Just a good stun here onto the rail and back, and don't go behind the 8 ball. Tried his best to go behind the 8 ball, but he's fine.
And you're seeing why Cobra wins a lot, because he's playing the right way. You know, he's doing the right things with the cue ball. He's going to the big areas. He's reducing the speed dependencies. You know, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes with the cue ball.
Well, look at how this match has just run straight away here from SBD. I mean, what was the score when SBD got to 3 racks? I mean, was it
I think it
two
was
apiece or 3-2 or what? But I mean,
it was 3-2 at one point.
Since then, it's been nada.
Well, you know, everything's going Cobra's way. He's breaking good. He's running out, and SBD's made some bad mistakes.
Well, I think this one's dry. So again, we're looking at either going all out for a bank for.
No, he'll play safe. He'll put the cue
no
ball
great value, I don't think.
by the 8, unless he's just tired of this. But he should have been the left side of it. Yeah, that would be a mistake.
No, now he's trying to cut it in. Now he's trying to get crazy.
He's just, at this point, he's just frustrated.
And look, almost scratched. And he gets a roll.
Yeah, that's sort of a give up shot. He's figures he's going to lose. I'm just going to fire at it.
No. Well, it's a 2-3 rail shot here, is it not?
Yeah, and you want to hit this pretty firm, and the reason why is there's nothing to hide behind there. You got to move one ball out. Ideally, you'd like to. Well, see, that's a mistake.
Well, he's just going to set it up doing that, isn't he?
Well, I mean, I know the shot he's playing. He's trying to slide behind the 5, but that was a pretty tough shot. I mean, I'm not going to.
I think he's overhit that. He needs a bump here.
It wasn't a terrible play, but I didn't think that was the best shot because that was pretty tough to get it there.
Well, as soon as he hit that ball there, I knew that he'd hit it far too hard. I mean, the fact that it hit the 8 ball took a wee bit of pace off it. Now he's having to let loose and play the stub shots. Now he needs to get a bump in the 4, which he has done.
Yep, very
and
good shot.
And the 4 goes in. And now, see, this is the problem with this shot. I mean, yes, he can get on the 5, but he has to get on the 5 in such a way that he's going to make it easy to get back for the 6. Let's have a look.
Yeah. Well, he's got to get this drawn past the side pocket. Now, I'll tell you how to hit this shot. A little bit of left English. He's not doing it, but it's easier with left. He barely got past the titties. You hit that with a little drawn, a little left English, and it goes by a lot simpler. You could have probably drawn it back and scratched in the corner pocket if you put a little left on it.
Well, this is straight back across the 8 and the corner. Cue ball about there. Just where the donut is. I'll give him 3 out of 10 for that. Never even get inside the ring.
Slim's trying to boost your popularity. Hit the dislike button.
Yeah, hit the dislike button. Mm-hmm. Well, is that going to stem the tide? Because this is what needs to happen. Now he has to have the break work for him. This is a huge ask, trailing by 11-4.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to go well for him. He really needs to have Cobra give him some help. I mean, the problem with SBD is that he can't stop making mistakes. That's his problem, because even if things go well for him, he seems to just make too many mistakes, and you can't do that against Cobra.
Well, this table's too easy. There's no way he can't get out here.
Well,
no way.
You would think. I mean, is he capable of running 8 racks in a row? Yeah, he is. Will he? Well, that's a tough ask, because you've got to break well, and you got to have.
Here's
a shot
another
on a
example,
ball.
Steve. Straight down for the 7 ball in the side, but he's doing the same thing again. He's playing it long.
Well, but this isn't bad. I mean, in real life, you get closer, but it's not bad from the sense that you're rolling the cue ball down the line of the shot. So it's, you're taking away the speed sensitivity. That's, this isn't what you particularly want here.
I know he's going to have to either draw back or go forward, one of the two, but...
Where's the cue ball going?
It's going to hold up.
But yeah, I mean, anytime you're running down the line of the shot, that's not a bad thing, because the speed control is the hard thing. So if you've got 2 or 3 feet that the cue ball can run and still be good, then that's typical. I'm not saying that's what you should do on every single shot, but in general, that's a good thing.
2 ball. Right,
Well,
so
let's
what do
see.
you do now? This is touchy to try and play a dinky behind the 5 ball and do anything like that.
I think he's going to cut the
Going to try and cut
1 ball. Now you got your choice. I would probably hit this with right English and hold the cue ball. He's going to go down.
He's got it. How's his luck? How's his luck?
That's why I didn't like going down on it, because you were going to move the 3 ball. So now he's got a shot where the cue ball wants to run between the 4 and the 8 if you just roll it.
Well, the odds are he's going to run into it,
hold it a little and bump the 8 ball. He's put a little right on it, so he's trying to go around the table.
Well, he needs to get a bump in the 7 to hold up, but it's not. It's still running. He's got the cut now, Cobra.
And Cobra will let this cue ball come off the end rail and probably bump into the 8 ball. If he misses the 8 ball, as long as he misses it on the rail side of it, he's probably okay. Well, he's going to go into the corner and come up short, which is probably a better play than the one I said. This is more sure.
Somebody give me an update on the score in the Argentinian match. Argentina's playing at the moment. Please, could somebody
about that? It's not Scotland.
Oh, their demise happens in a couple of days' time.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Brazil. A team that will never ever come close to beating them. 1-0, Messi scores again. Oh, and they missed a penalty as well.
I'll say Spain will win.
Yeah, Spain are looking reasonable enough. I think they won 4-0 in their match the other night. Oh, that's gone all wrong for Cobra. He's hit that straight into the long rail, that 5 ball.
And he didn't get lucky this time. Yeah, that was not good. This is a little tricky here because it's easy to leave the 5 ball on the rail. I would hit this with speed and take the cue ball 2 rails. I wouldn't dink this. I think he got out enough that he's got it. That was the problem with that shot.
I'm all for your shot there, Steve, because any silly thing could have happened there. That could have been further up the rail and you had no shot.
So I would always go forward with this. You could go back. We'll see what he decides. I think it's a little close to the rail for going back, and he decides to go forward.
Well, again, this is the sort of assistance that I said earlier, that Cobra's not going to give you that many opportunities, but Cobra's gifted that one to
What you need to do is make that cost in 3 or 4 games. So you need to break and run at least a couple more.
Needs to get the follow-up. Most certainly needs that to happen. I don't know what he's looking at to line up for this break-off shot, because you're right on the corner of the break box.
Where he wants it.
Well, it's not working. Try again, and look at where the cue ball is, and look at the one.
See, that's a killer.
This is what hurts in this game. You have a nice break.
That's what's known as a sellout break.
and you set it up for Cobra, and you think, well, he's never going to miss here.
Cobra decides to do here. He may draw this to the long rail because the cue ball's not headed the direction he wants. He may go all the way to the end rail. I think he's going to go to the end rail here.
This is not pretty, this angle.
Yeah, I think he's going to the end rail. He's got to really get this to move up. Oh, boy, he's not going to the end rail. He's trying to hold it. He's trying
to hold it. Again, a big risk. Again, you've got to play the percentage, haven't you, Steve? You've got to play the percentage
what did I say?
shot.
Either draw it into the long rail or hit it and go all the way to the end rail. Now, the 5 ball was an issue there. I probably would have drawn that and then had a tougher cut on the 2 ball.
Make a note of that. That's 2 instances in the last 5 minutes that Cobra's
here's the thing: as a player,
made mistakes.
I'll tell you how you make that mistake, because I've made that mistake a lot. Okay, you look at this and you go, "Oh, well, the cue ball. If I put this in the side, the cue ball is going to want to go behind the 8." Then you talk yourself into, "Oh, I can hold this." I can. Oh, look at this luck.
Oh, look at this for a roll again.
You talk yourself into, I can hold this, when you know you can't. You know it's going to go behind the 8, and then you hit it anyways.
Yeah. We've all done that. I mean, the little voice tells you that it ain't going to work, but you still do it.
He's going to try to jump this, I think. He can't kick off the rail by the 7 with English.
Oh dear.
That's just a tough shot trying to jump that. Albin seems to be pretty good at it, but the rest of us mortals are not.
And look at Cobra coming up, smelling the roses.
Yeah, well, he's definitely gotten the rolls this match. I mean, it would probably be 10-7, maybe even 9-8 if Cobra hadn't gotten so many rolls.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's frustrating as a player, but that's part of the game, and especially with 9-ball.
Now, is it going to be straight?
These pockets are big enough, it doesn't matter. You go
Nice,
forward,
fine.
left English here.
Mario's looking for a doubles partner for Monday 9-ball Scottish doubles. Well, we've still got a good few matches on the schedule. We'll have a look at that after this is over. Where's this cue ball going? Where's this cue? But look at this. Look at the bounce. Well, I'll tell you,
Well, see, that's just getting loose with the cue ball. Okay, so that's just hitting it and going, oh, it'll work out. You know, it's going to run at the 9-ball. I mean, that's not a smart play. I mean, Cobra's a pretty smart player, but that was not a smart play.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be all that happy with his overall performance, but he's played the jump there over the edge. That was very well done.
Yeah, well, that one was pretty doable with only a little bit of the ball.
The amount of room that he had, yep. And only the edge of the 9. So that little threesome of racks that have accumulated for SBD, they're not really going to help him a great deal. Cobra's going to move one more step away and one step closer to round 2. Is he right on the corner of the break box? Yes, he is.
He is
5-ball
cutting
drops.
the 1-ball some, and well, let's see what you do here.
Well,
this is a
you certainly
tricky,
don't just
but
put.
I
You
would
certainly
probably
don't just push it to the short rail. You're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, you could try to put it between the 1 and the 2-ball, or 2 and the 6-ball. You could try to just kind of thin the 1 a little.
Yeah.
Roll forward, kind of hit the 1 towards the 8-ball and bump into the 2, just like this.
That's what he's trying, and that will do nicely. Perfect.
Yeah, and I like that shot because it's simple
out of that.
and it's very effective.
Get out of that.
Well,
now, there is a line there.
It's a 2-rail kick. This is a kick. This is a ball you should hit. You should hit this ball. He doesn't look like he's deep enough. There he goes, a little deeper.
No, he's going. I think he needed to go a bit further left. He's hit it near that pocket to get to that ball.
You either hit it too deep in the corner or you put English on it. One or the other. A lot of times it's better to put a little running English on notes because it's a little bit more of a natural feel. You know, play a little less in the corner and put a little running on it.
He's left it a wee bit short. And again, got to do something with the cue ball here. This cue ball wants to head the wrong direction.
Yeah, he's
Is
just
this a big stun and onto the rail and out?
Yeah, he should make this and get on the 3.
Yeah, he's got the stun, got the control, played it very nicely. Going a wee bit square, but he's got loads of room to go onto this 4-ball.
Now, what I like is when guys get on this game and they come in and they play somebody like Cobra or one of the better players, and then they go, "Oh, these people are cheating," because they can't believe anybody's going to be that good.
Oh, we've seen a fair share of them.
Yeah, I
Is he
don't
going
know
to play
about
it
that
past the
play.
7?
Yeah,
I thought he was going to try and play that in the side.
Yeah, he might have been. He just didn't hit it hard enough. I mean, there was a shot there where you could play that in the side. This is
So this 9 ball is just a big hindrance. Is he
well.
going to
I
try and
think
use the
I
9
think
ball
he'll
here?
go. I think he'll shoot the 6 in the same pocket as the 4, maybe. Well, let's see what he decides to do.
He's going to play the big VP4 escape route. That's what he's doing.
Watch out.
And there you go. You start running the cue ball loose.
Where's the cue ball going?
Yeah, that's not a very controllable shot. And but you know, he made a mistake on the 3 ball. I think he was trying to get the 4 on the side. He needed to hit that harder, maybe check it a little more.
Well, here's another little sequence maybe here, Steve. There's a gift for SBD. He's going to have the break. Although he's left this a bit fiddly. And it could be a chance to get a little sequence of racks going. You know, suddenly, you know, 12-9 might look a bit better and a bit more encouragement. And this could have been better, by the way he's finished here.
Well, the way he hit the 6 ball, you know, it's just, you know, a lot of it's just being a little too careless. There's nothing wrong with playing fast, but that doesn't mean you should be careless.
USA is playing well football. Sounds good to me. Well, he's got the first part of this deal done. He's got a ball, and the other part of it, he's got a shot.
Just draw it between the 4 and the 5. Now, the mistake people make on this is coming up short like that.
Yeah,
see how he came up short?
Yeah.
Because he let the cue ball turn over. He came up short on it. That's the mistake people make on that shot.
You know, he's now got to pull off a shot here.
Yeah,
which he has done. And now the other problem is that 7 ball. Can he get out of there? Have a look at this angle here.
No, I think he's probably gonna. Well, this is tricky. I think he can bring it back between the 9 and the 6. He's going to try to go behind it. He's going to hit it, is what he's going to do.
Well, he's got a rub. He's got a rub.
I think it worked out okay. You just don't want to underhit this and leave the 4 short.
You know, for some reason, whenever SBD's getting to the table, I'm not 100% convinced he's going to find his way out, because he seems to be getting himself in awkward spots like this again. This is fiddly.
This is okay. It's just it's not looking as clean as it could. You know, that's why you feel that way, because he's just kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
a little out of line.
If I had money on him to get out, he's overcooked this. Look at this. Look at that. You see what I mean? It's just not 100% convincing that he's going to, you know, put a sequence together to get himself out. There's another rat he's going to give away here, and these are costly.
He could play
safe
here.
Needs to kick this in.
I would never kick that.
It's gone south.
I would never kick at that. That's way too hard. It wasn't sitting good for the kick. I might have banked it, or I might have played safe, but I wouldn't have kicked it. That would have been not even considered.
Well, again, you start adding up all of these missed opportunities. There's another one to the collection. Just look at the way the score is. It could have been 12 apiece at the moment.
Well, the thing is that for starters, he hit the 6 ball with English, which you don't want to do on that. If you did hit any English, you would hit that with right English, so it would come off and kill on the long rail. He hit that with left English, which was running, and the ball just took off. I mean, it was just playing the shot the wrong way.
Yeah.
You can say, oh, I hit it thinner I wanted, or I didn't hit it as good as I wanted, but the bottom line is if you hit that with bottom right, the cue ball is going to kill. It's almost impossible to lose it the way he did. Well, Cobra had nothing here.
Now, do you actually kick this 2 rails behind the 1 and hope you get lucky behind the 3 and 4?
Well, that's not lucky. I mean, you could play that shot, yes. That's not lucky. If you kick that and get behind the 3 and 4.
Well, you obviously hit the 1 in the right direction first of all.
If you gave Efren this shot, you'd be behind the 3 and 4 95 times out of 100. I mean, I'm telling you, he would put that ball there almost every single time.
Yeah. I believe
Now,
you because
Cobra's not
I've
effing,
seen him
but,
do
you know.
stuff. I don't know that. Well, he's leaving an edge. Now, what do you do here? Do you go for the crossover bank and hope you get
and
lucky if you're SPD?
the reason why you do, well, you don't hit
Oh,
it that hard.
he slammed that. He slammed that. Oh, he's got
See,
lucky.
the reason why you
one's
do
gonna...
is you hit it at a speed that if you miss it, it comes up on the end rail.
And now he's hooked.
Not a blaster. Well, I mean, that's what he blasted the thing. So, I mean, what does he expect? And that one, you almost had to blast because it was just that sort of situation. So,
Cobra trying to dink back behind the 8.
if I was Cobra, I'd probably play safe here. And the reason why is you don't want to give your guy. But if you're confident,
he's
the
going
shot's
for the
there.
cut.
But
He's going for the
I
cut.
would probably play safe here because I don't want to give the guy any chance to get going.
That's holding up. It's holding up.
Yep,
just.
And the reality is SPD is probably not going to get going because he keeps proving over and over again he's going to make too many mistakes.
Well, either go forward and check it or 2 rails. Don't bump the 7. He's avoided that. And this is another one that's got away. It really could have been. You just think of all these mistakes and errors at the wrong time. You start adding them up in racks. It could have been neck and neck. Or at worst, a couple of racks in it rather than 6 and going to 7 in a minute. That's a costly price you pay when you don't take these chances against players like Cobra.
I would have tried to cheat the pocket probably rather than just straight draw that back. Maybe he didn't have the angle to do it.
Well, now he's going to have to do a bit of acrobatics. Now he has to leave this short to leave the cut, doesn't he? He has to leave it short of the 9 ball.
Either that or get all the way down to the end.
Oh, I mean that's going to be some shot. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'd probably take it to the end rail.
5 rails. 1, 2, 3. He's going for it. 4. He's going to be short though. There you go. That's why he went my way.
and the thing about that kind of shot is that you want to get to the 5th rail because that'll help you control the speed. I mean, if you went to the 5th rail and went long, that would be a lot better than it did.
Well, so, whatever it might be, it could be a lifeline here for SBD.
He's going to try to kick this in 2 rails. And not a bad attempt, but...
Is this going to finish okay? I think it is. I think it's perfect. Well, there's a gift and a plate for you. Now what might happen if this brake starts working? It's going to be 13-8.
But, if you're Cobra and you shoot that shot and it comes up like that, then you have to say to yourself, okay, was that just bad execution or a bad decision or both? And that's a shot that I would have played myself, but he obviously didn't have it right. And there's a golden break.
Cue ball tried to go in. 9 ball's gone. This is what I'm talking about, making these matches exciting. When the 9 ball starts getting in and you're 13-9 behind, welcome to Mooncake.
Well, SPD needs some luck. I mean, Cobra's gotten all of it, so... And all of a sudden, he's only down 4, and if he can break and run out here,
1 ball,
the 1
another ball on the
is
side.
He going to have a shot on the 2? I think he is. Maybe.
Well,
not.
he's going to have a thin cut or a bank. The bank is dead. But look at where the 3 ball's sitting. You've got to watch the cue ball doing that, haven't you?
He may have to twist this just a touch.
Now the cue ball needs to have a shot. Oh, he's got a bump and he's got a roll. Everything's coming out good now.
All of a sudden, the rolls have changed. They're going SPD's way.
He got a nice little bump. Oh, he needs to hold up. Now what do you do? Where's this cue ball want to go?
Well, this is kind of...
Now, he's going to play this long into the corner. That's why he's playing it long into the corner.
Shot. I would not have played for position on the 4 the way he did, but that's another subject. So he's done all the hard work, and
yeah, suddenly when you're on double figures, the scoreboard just looks that wee bit more inviting. Especially if this next rack goes, or the break goes okay. We might still have a match on here, folks. Make up your own mind, Mooncake. We're saying nothing. Let's just say that we don't think he lives in Japan. That's all we're saying.
13-10, he's still at the table breaking. As long as you're at the table, you got a chance.
Yeah, that's the beauty about it.
And
the odd golden break here and there helps.
Yeah, and again, needs a ball. I don't think he's getting one.
Yeah, and the other thing is he's left a shot again.
Yeah, and this
rack's over. 3
that's
and 4
a killer
ball
getting
up
dry
table.
breaks. Yeah, you got to figure Cobra's going to run this out.
Yeah, I mean 3's not a problem. 4's there. 5 back into
Five's
the
five's
corner.
probably the trickiest bit. And right off the bat, he gets out of line.
Yeah, he's left himself short. Now he's going to have to walk the cue ball again.
You know, being a little long was better than being short. Well, you know, I mean, he's going to have to work a little harder. It is pretty critical. He gets on this 3 good so he can get to the 4 good, because I think if you get on the 4 good, then you can shoot the 5 up table, which is probably what he's going to end up doing.
Yeah, he's going to be on the 4 good. He can just go to the rail and come back out.
And then he just dink the 4 in and shoot the 5 up table. He'd like to be a little straighter than he is.
I think he's going to have to drag the pace off this 4 ball here and just get it to the pocket.
This is not ideal.
Yeah, he's just going to have to do one of these soft screw shot type. No, he isn't. He's going to play the combo. There's a surprise.
Well, I mean, he got funny on the 4, so I mean that's a mature thing to change your mind because you're like, crap, you know, I don't have the right angle. So
he's got to get this where it's not catching the point. This 9 ball.
Yeah,
it won't go in if it does.
Combos are never gimmies.
Oh, he went the other way. That's come out perfect. Well, there we go. There was a glimmer of hope there. I didn't hear anything go, but the house with the 6 ball is just gone, and he's on the 1, and everything's wide open. He's just going to have to dig in this cue ball here for this 2 ball. Come over and bump the 8. If he does, I think he'll still be fine.
No, he's just going to stun this and then, oh, wait a second. I'm looking at the 2 ball.
Yeah, he needs to do a bit of digging here.
He's got to hit this good.
Is he going top here? It looks as if he's going top in the cue ball. Is he trying to avoid? No, he isn't. He is digging in.
Oh,
and he's going to avoid. He's hit that sweet. That is perfect. Couldn't have hit that any better. I mean, even if he did come over and bump the 8,
he'll try to get pretty straight in on this 3 because he's going to want to draw it right up the rail.
Pretty much like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you don't get overcooking this behind the 7. That's the one. You leave this short. You got to leave it short. Not that short though, but he's got to leave it short. That's again perfect.
Well, see what he did is he ran it on a line where he couldn't get it behind the 7.
Mm-hmm.
Which there's a little danger there, more in real life, where you could kind of get your cue stick not quite going the way you want and get it too wide, but he hit it perfect.
Mooncake is Pastelito de Luna.
Luna is
in Spanish.
Luna is moon in Spanish. I used to go to a place called
Now, is he the wrong side of this 5 ball? Yeah, he was. He was slightly the wrong side of it. But he's fine. Now, he's got to come up table, hasn't he? Rather than try to dink this in and play the 8 into the side at worst.
Yeah. You'd like to get an angle back where you don't have to go up and down the table on the 8.
No, he's got there,
But he's
got the
not
pace.
he's not gonna have the angle back, so he's gonna go up and down.
Oh. Possibly the worst thing that can happen here is coming down and hitting the knuckle of the side pocket, but that's about the worst thing that should happen.
The side pocket's not in play here.
Well, he straightened it up. And a wee cut back. This for 15-10 in this race to 19. When did this start again? 6:30, so we're at 1 hour and 20 minutes. Well, is there a glimmer of hope still here for SBD? Well,
it's dying quick. It's dying quick.
Not when you look at the lay of the table here after that break. 2 balls in the break, the 4 ball and the 7 balls gone. He's perfect in the one, little dig behind the
16 to 10 here.
Yeah.
I mean, this table couldn't be much easier.
Let's have a quick look and see what's happening in this 9-ball Scottish doubles. Well, we've got 3 teams in, so I think we'll cover... Well, I'll be going to... I don't know whether Steve's going to hang around, but I'm going to cover that after this. See a bit of 9-ball Scottish doubles. 3 teams in, so it should still be going by the time this is finished.
Interchange X says, get something working in practice, and I play a real game and it never works. I assume you're talking about the break. The break is voodoo. I mean, it's just... I'll tell you a story. So, at one point, Shane was beating everybody in long races. 9-ball and 10-ball.
Hang on a minute.
He's going to have to bank this. He's not happy.
He's definitely not happy.
Well, you can play safe here. I would play safe here. I would hit the ball, bank the ball to the middle of the end rail and try to use
a 9-ball, yeah.
I would play safe here every time. This is a doable safety.
I mean, even if you leave an edge of the 8-ball or half of the 8-ball, he's gone all out for the cut.
Or
I think he's that annoyed. That's what he made his mind up he was going to do.
That's a good shot. So anyway, Shane was beating everybody. And so Mika Inneman decides he's figured out a way to get him. He goes to Steinway Billiards and practices for a month with the magic rack, you know, because they weren't using a magic rack then. It was all just, you know, normal rack. On the table they're going to play on, he plays for a month. Does nothing but breaking on it. And using a magic rack, then he challenges Shane race to 100 for like 20,000. And the exact thing Interchange X is talking about. They get in the match, and after a month of practice, Mika cannot make a ball on the break. And Shane breaks like God, like normal. And Shane beats him by like, I don't know, 30 racks or something like that, like 100 to 70. And that kind of sums it up. That's pool. The break is it's voodoo.
You left yourself a bit short again here. He should be bumping into the 8-ball. He should still be fine. In fact, he's hit it dead weight, but he's just got the legs. How did SBD get back to the table? Where did I miss that? Did Cobra come up dry? I was too busy looking at the chat.
I guess he did.
I'm missing stuff here doing this.
SBD better not miss, or Arnie may come out.
No,
he'll go 3 rails with this.
He ain't get much time. Well, he's not got much time to play with here. Oh no, he ain't. He's just going to dink this. Not taking any risks.
That's not bad in VP. In real life, you go 3 rails on.
Well, he's got to hit this enough to get the cue ball down there.
Yeah, that's perfect. Good play. So 16-11, he needs to be making balls. So unfortunately for him, he's just holding pace now. Now that he's kind of settled in, he's been holding pace, but that's not good enough. He needs a big run here. This is why you don't want to get down 9-3 or 10-3, whatever it was, like he did, because then you just play good and hold pace and you still lose.
Well, ball's going in. What's that hanging over the side pocket? Is that the 1 ball?
Yeah. There goes another
Mooncake
ball.
says, but Steve, how do you manage to, what's he saying? Built in the fit. I don't know what he's talking. How did you manage?
It's the thing is that in real life, there's a few more variables. Like when Mika and Shane playing, Mika spends all his time practicing, and he's practicing in a pool room with hardly anybody in that. And then they play this big match, and there's 200 people watching it. Well, those 200 people bring a lot of heat. They bring moisture from their breath. So things change. Now VP does not change that way, but there's still other elements, and the biggest one being the human element. I mean, if you break great in practice and you really break poorly in matches, then I would say you're probably doing something different. You may not think you're doing something different, but something might be a little different.
Right, well.
Because the VP table isn't changed. We didn't model humidity or anything. Could, but
back to 4.
I don't know that players want that, but we couldn't model it. I'll tell you, I'd play in tournaments, and the table would be kind of medium, slow, and grabby, and the AC would go on, and a half hour later, the table is slippery and super fast. I mean, humidity makes the biggest difference on pool tables.
Well, there's your favorite momentum killer, Steve.
Yeah.
Scratching the brake.
Scratching the brake is just, that is the worst thing.
Now, this 2-ball, no, 2-ball's fine. You just need to nick back across. He's fine. Loads of room. Now it's a bit fiddly, because now he's got a 4-ball that's interfering with play. He's stuck to the rail. He's got to try and run the cue ball around the corner and out. He's trying to come back the way.
This is tough.
Yeah, I mean, that 4-ball
That
was
was a
always
pretty
going to
good
interfere.
shot to get it there.
He's
that was a
got a
pretty good shot.
Now, not too tight too soon, because we know what happens when it's too tight too soon, don't we, folks?
This is a little tricky here.
Too tight too soon, and he's actually gone the other way. He's going to bank it. Unbelievable! Look at this for a jammy get, but he shook himself.
It's not going in. It's not going in
either. Oh dear! Oh dear!
Okay,
look at this.
So you want to mass say this and hit the titty. You could kick at it. If you're going to kick at it, you want to hit long rail first, because otherwise you're going to scratch. I would probably kick at this, but he's kicking 3 rails. I would never kick 3 rails at this, and the reason why is it's too easy to scratch. You're going to have to hit a rail if you're going to avoid the scratcher.
Oh, this looks good.
And he
that's
has hit
beautiful.
the rail. Good. So, yeah, I would have kicked just 1 rail.